Hello everyone, Sunset.2, welcome to another mod overview, this time on Kevlar, a fabric mod that is aimed as a early to mid game tech mod. So what you come across for the most part is pretty much the following here. So you'll find things such as a planter, block breaker, buttons, redstone repeaters of an iron and gold variety, receivers, transmitters, boosters, and certain other things, along with teleportation, a feeder, some alfalfa, and so on. So yeah, mostly a sort of farm or redstone type of focus. So what you'll probably want is to just get some redstone dust, as if you pick some up, you'll get a Kevlar tutorial book, which I didn't actually realize until I placed some redstone dust down for the repeaters, so I had no idea you could get this until now. Otherwise, you've got an introduction here that gives you a bit of an idea of what things can do. So you've got transmitter blocks and otherwise for networks, and this, that, and the other, boosting of it, and so on. To avoid signal interference, there's 16 different colors, so I assume 16 different network possibilities or something. Otherwise, we'll just sort of test what we can. So yeah, you've got an iron button, which is just iron nuggets, and a gold button, which is made from gold nuggets. If we take a look at the book, we can see the recipes. We can see that the actual time it stays is 5 seconds for the iron one, and gold is 1. So short enough to short pulse the piston, the gold one's useful for, and otherwise 5 seconds is useful for other cases. So yeah, so we just go here, if I can actually interact with it, you can see the following there. So that's quite short, and quite quick. Also, this one stays a bit longer. You can see also as well the actual length that the repeater will do. So we'll just move that a bit as well and see how much longer that will stay. In terms of or how long it takes for a delay. So we'll do this here with gold. You can see differences there. So it's going to take quite a while before it'll actually send the signal out again. So we'll keep doing that, and that's even longer now. For either just sending the signal or even keeping the signal by the looks of things. If we wait again, this will be the longest you can get, of course. So there's that. So if you want something in that to take a lot longer, to either just be delayed or then send through, you've got that. Otherwise, if we move on, we've got the receivers and transmitters, which will just cover the recipes for these as well, just so you can tell for the repeaters. So gold and iron swapped out instead of the, used instead of the stone, I mean. You've got obviously your transmitters, which are like so, with the redstone one, like so, some redstone boosters, and then we'll just sort of go through, I guess, each of these. We've got end and nether, which is just the same resource but swapping out with endstone or netherrack. The overworld is stone. And we've got obviously a few differences here with the transmitter being used, the redstone one in comparison to the receiver or booster or so on, whichever of these you need. And obviously these will send signals between each of them, I assume, wirelessly. So, I don't know exactly how they work, because I haven't checked the book yet, but we'll find out. I should get more levers, just in case. I'm pretty sure this is the transmitter side, from what I remember. So we just send that. It's not really going to do anything on its own, because it doesn't have a connection. So, let's get rid of this stuff here. So, my guess is that we'll actually want to use maybe some redstone dust to then connect them, so we'll just see. Use this one, we send signals. Connected to it of the same color. Use boosters to extend. Powering it. Transmitter will power all nearby components. Use the redstone receiver to convert the signal back. And then that's about it there. And the repeaters, and how long they last for is there, so 16 to 64 and so on. Okay, so we don't have much other information there. So I guess you probably just use it, and it's supposed to just send a signal, unless you have to bind a color to it already for it to work, or otherwise it won't. So, let's see. That's not going to do anything because it wasn't intended to. I don't think you can just apply it as is. It dies. I'm not too sure. Ah, okay, so that works. That works. Okay. These are. Actually, I have to remember because I'm not too sure. We'll get some diamond. Obviously, redstone on its own will work. So that's a redstone receiver. That's a booster, I assume. And that's a so on. Okay, so we'll use these because these are the ones we're probably more likely going to use to demonstrate, and then the others are obviously for different dimensions. So you got overworld, end, and otherwise. So we'll just put these in the same connection. And my guess is if we just do this, oops, we don't get more levers as well. So we'll do this, and that'll be sent. If we don't have the boost, actually see what happens. Oops, so that's fine. We just move this over to here. Oops, I don't want to sneak, of course. Just want to see what the distance could be. I'm assuming maybe it's supposed to be 15 blocks by default, but we'll see. And there is no configs either, so oops, I don't know why I'm doing that. Oops, that's still actually sending a signal, surprisingly enough. Maybe it's 64 blocks or something, I'm not sure. Just go into creative because it'll make things easier. Okay. Don't know why it's doing that for distance. It's kind of awkward. So that's not going to reach, of course. I don't know what the exact distance is either. So we'll just place a bunch of these out, and we'll find out what the reach is. Nope, so not even there. You know, as silly as it is, but you know, you never know what the distance will actually be for something. Okay, so they're around about, unless this is just picking up on it, it might be. No, okay, so maybe there is a distance. That can't be connecting them all. Yeah, that just doesn't seem right. No. And the receivers can pick up other receivers? No, that doesn't seem right. I must be missing something. Let's see. So that's still going apparently. Yep, so that's now stopped. So that can pick up on that. That can do that. Okay, we're getting lag, which is not needed. Alright. So we can still go here. Still go here. Might be what's at the end as well, which is likely. Nope, okay, so that's still connecting from over there. Maybe it just doesn't have a... Okay, so it's not from there. It's not from here. So about here is where you'll probably reach, I guess, by the looks of things. Which I'm not exactly sure how far that is, but it might be around about 64-ish, maybe 32-ish, I'm not sure. Something like that. Again, I don't think it's mentioned in the book. It's just saying in that what it can do. That's about it. So that's how far it can reach, and then I assume the boost will probably increase even more, and so on. Of possibly even the same. Otherwise, we're not getting much different here with a connection. I don't think so. That's unless it has to connect to like some of the others or something on the network. I'm not sure because that can't be dyed. So let's see, that is here we go. That can't be dyed. That also can't. So I really don't know. But either way, you can use them in certain ways, of course. I assume similar to this, but then obviously in dimensional cases. Yeah, so we'll move on to the next lot of things, which is the alfalfa, which you can find bales of in savanna and plains villages. We just go to here. That's not it, the bale. So it can be, it's pretty much equivalent to hay bales and wheat. It can be found in plains and savanna villages and crafted into its other version, similar to nuggets and ingots and such. It can be used for breeding rabbits, pigs, and any animal that could normally breed with wheat. So obviously cows, sheep, and otherwise still fit under here. With a shorter cooldown time before the animals can be bred again. So instead of 5 minutes, I assume it's maybe 1 to 2 minutes or something like that. We'll have to test. And the seeds can be planted on farmland, which I've already got going here. In terms of getting it, obviously, it's pretty easy, but I don't know how you get the seeds. I assume that obviously finding the bales in the village makes sense, but it doesn't say anything about finding this already in villages where you would typically see their farms. So my guess is that it's pretty much just going to be that you can find the seeds that way, because you can't craft these into seeds. As you can tell, there's no recipes or any other stuff here, so I don't really know. So we've already got one that's already tried to grow. So we'll find out its growth stages, which is 1, 2, and 3. And then when we break this, of course, in survival, not in creative, we'll get some alfalfa and some seeds. So it's pretty much going to act the same as wheat, as we can already tell. That was pretty much on its last one or so. Otherwise, of course, you can't use it for food, so yeah. But if we just go with, say, a sheep, or some rabbits, for example. Are they interested? Let's see, because could you use this as a wheat substitute for making them follow you? No, only for breeding. So that seems to be the case there. They're not exactly getting much closer because they moved away. Oh well, we'll get another sheep, or a cow actually. We'll do that instead. So they'll breed. Okay, we can keep trying. My guess is that it's probably just going to be like 1 to 2 minutes or something, maybe 4 minutes, I don't know. We'll just keep clicking and see what happens. I don't have a monitor either, so I can't really tell how long it'll take, I don't think, unless the feeder or something can make it more clear, of course. Either way, we'll let that do its thing. We'll cover the feeder now though with iron ingots and planks, and if we just place this down, we can, I assume, put some alfalfa in here, and it'll breed the next mob. I don't know if we could put maybe some wheat in here. We can. Can we put carrots? We cannot. We can't put beetroot in here because there is a purpose for that. So wheat and alfalfa pretty much seems the way to go for the feeder here, and it does give a bit more of what's available. We can't put seeds in, nor can we? We cannot. Not even the alfalfa seeds. No. So we'll get a feeder again, and we'll get a ton of wheat and alfalfa and see what happens with what we can actually put in here. So just go and click like crazy, and it does visually show a hay bale-like texture here. So we're getting this to full, and my guess is it'll maybe work on the entire stack. Nope, okay, so 50, no 40, sorry, well 10 less, so we're getting 54 in here. That'll just keep picking one each time, I assume. And obviously this one we know it shows the bale texture, so that's fine. I guess this will be exactly the same in terms of what I can actually store. So we've got rabbits breeding now, and baby rabbits. Okay, so next,